Can celebrities get away with killing? It's taken over a year for the DA to press charges against Alec Baldwin for the fatal shooting of Helena Hutchins on the set of the show Rust in Santa Fe County, New Mexico. Is Alec Baldwin's celebrity affecting the timeline at all? And if it is, will it affect the verdict? Let's talk about it. I'm Josh Sanford. I'm America's attorney. Lawyer up and join the special community that's growing right here. The community that gets to learn the rules of the game and the chances of Alec Baldwin being convicted for obviously killing someone. You don't want to miss out, so subscribe to this channel. Now, there's a lot to digest in this story, but as I see it, there are just 7 main takeaways, and I'm going to fire away. But before I do that, there are 2 things that we need to consider before getting into the charges. First, there's no dispute that Baldwin was the person holding the gun when it discharged, killing the 42-year-old mother of 1. But there's simply no evidence, either direct or circumstantial, that Baldwin had any intention of harming, much less killing, Hutchins. So why did it take so long for the charges to come down from the DA? Aren't almost all deaths by gunfire crimes? Is this an exception? Is that exception based on the fact that Alec Baldwin has been an actual star on our screens for the last 30 years? So as I was hearing and learning about the news, these are the main things that I think it's important for people to know and to keep in mind as this situation and the indictment unfolds. Number 1, this is not a murder charge. Murder is a killing with intent to kill. This is a non-intent killing. Number 2, the exact charge is involuntary manslaughter. Manslaughter is the unlawful killing of a human without malice. Now, malice does not mean anger or hatred, but it is a technical, legal word that means generally purpose to harm. Involuntary manslaughter consists of manslaughter committed in the commission of a lawful act which might produce death in an unlawful manner or without due caution and circumspection. Number 3, lack of due caution or circumspection is really a technical way of saying with negligence. Strangely, at the press conference, the prosecutor described the standard as being, to use her words, more than negligence. It's not clear from the statutes that a lack of circumspection actually does mean more than negligence. And the standard that she announced would actually make it harder for her to win her case. Number 4, the maximum punishment for involuntary manslaughter in New Mexico is 18 months in prison and a $5,000 fine because it's a 4th-degree felony. I don't think Alec Baldwin is worried about $5,000. However, each defendant, which is Alec Baldwin and the armorer, will be charged with an alternate count, which provides for a mandatory 5-year sentence. Number 5, body cam footage from October 21st of 2021 suggests that Baldwin was properly Mirandized by the investigators, and they didn't stop talking or ask for his attorney. Why? He believed he had done nothing wrong. Now, you might argue that he was in shock or not thinking clearly, and that's why he did it. But my response to that theory is this. He answered all their questions, and yet they didn't arrest him for over 15 months. He clearly did not say anything even remotely incriminating. Actually, let me take that back. They still haven't arrested him. And that leads me to point number 6. The DA said they are not going to be arrested. They've informed his attorney that they are issuing Baldwin a summons. He won't be picked up, doesn't have to turn himself in. Nothing. And she said he may be able to do his first court appearance by Zoom. Wow. Wouldn't want to inconvenience them. Because there's no intent necessary to convict him of his crime, a conviction is in fact possible. There's only one fact that I have seen that makes it possible that Baldwin could get convicted. He is insistent that he only cocked the gun but didn't pull the trigger. But FBI reports that testing of the gun indicates that this particular weapon cannot be fired without pulling the trigger. that makes it seem likely, or at least possible, that Baldwin could be lying. So what do we make of charging both the armorer and the actor? To me, the analysis is clear. The DA thinks the armorer is at fault, but the optics of charging only the non-famous Jane Schmo from a TV show set is really, really bad, especially when Baldwin was the one actually handling the gun when it was fired. So Alec Baldwin's stardom is actually working against him in this situation. And that may be the answer to our question, if anything. The facts of this case show that he is probably only being charged because he is a celebrity. If Alec Baldwin was another staff member of the cast or just a regular man on the street, would he have been charged? I think probably not. So, having said all that, will Alec Baldwin get convicted? Here, his celebrity actually works in his favor. The DA's press conference was very odd in this way. She said 2 separate times that 3 people were at fault in the shooting, but they only charged 2 of them, Alec Baldwin and the armorer, Hannah G. Reid. It seems to me that the DA thinks that the third party at fault will offer testimony that's damning to either Baldwin or Reid or both. But the acquittal of Baldwin is, to me, an all but foregone conclusion because of another thing that the DA said. And this is a quote. Every person that handles a gun has a duty to make sure that if they're going to handle that gun, point it at someone and pull the trigger, that it's not going to fire a projectile and kill someone. If she's right, if every person has that duty, then Baldwin has a right to believe, and that means he's not negligent to believe, that the armorer, co-defendant Haley Reid, has done just that. And he only needs one person on a jury of 12 to agree with him. Just one. Well, there you have it. Those are my 7 takeaways from the Alec Baldwin criminal charges. Now, this indictment will keep progressing. The trial will get scheduled. But I want to know your pro se opinion. Drop down into the comments below and let me know if you think the DA is trying to make an example out of Alec Baldwin, or if you think there's something else going on. And while you're down there, point your finger gun at the subscribe button and fire away. Now, Alec Baldwin isn't the only celebrity in hot water. Logan Paul has also been sued for allegedly scamming a bunch of people. If you want to learn more about that lawsuit, check out here. Or if you want to learn more about the evidence used in the warrant to arrest Bryan Kohberger, check this video out. Have a good one. I'll be back soon.